Yes, Kebbi State Governor Abubakar Atiku Bagudu says the state has achieved tremendous progress in agriculture despite the challenges of COVID-19 pandemic and flooding experienced in the state in the outgoing year.
Governor Bagudu, during an earlier chat with the Rise News, is urging stakeholders to continue to invest in agriculture, while noting that the current agricultural revolution in the country will help reduce poverty and ensure food security.
And Governor Bagudu also discussed insecurity in the country while calling for the inclusion of all aggrieved groups with genuine grievances in decision-making by all tiers of government. He also wants more governmental action by federal and state authorities to eradicate the use of small arms and light weapons across the country.
Inclusion is the main driver of peace and prosperity. Groups that are feeling angry, as much as we may also feel angry toward their conduct, but we have to focus on how is everyone included. Banditry and the related phenomena, kidnapping, which is purely a criminal enterprise, kidnapping, and banditry, which might have causes which originate from lack of inclusion or perception of such non-inclusion, can be dealt with by punishing criminality, but at the same time focusing on the bigger challenge of ensuring that all groups feel less angry, all groups feel included. There is conflict between occupations. The farmers, those pastoralists, the fishing communities, occasionally they come into conflict because we are all relying on a fixed resource.
We're now being joined by Chales, Director General, Institute for Police and Security Policy Research. Dr. Omole, good evening and welcome to Newsnight. Okay, first of all, what do you make of the statement of Governor of Kebbi as to the secret of their success in the area of insecurity in Kebbi State? He spoke about inclusion and conflict resolution as a way of making sure that they maintain a level of security within the state. What's your thought?
Well, I'm not surprised by that. I mean, every conflict in every nation globally is always a combination of what I call hard power and soft power. Conflicts are hardly ever won purely militarily. So there has to be a combination of military activities, economic, inclusion activities, negotiation. It has to be multilateral approach to peace. And I think, we can't just win this purely by military means. So what he says is actually part of the solution, yes.
At the situation in a place like Kebbi and compared to other states in Nigeria, I know that you've been a very strong advocate of community policing. We have a ragtag team of people who carry sticks and machete and cutlass and things like that are supposed to be vigilantes. What do you say about community policing in situations like this, especially with peculiar to Nigerian situation?
Well, the problem with community policing in Nigeria is that up until the new Police Establishment Act, which was signed by Mr. President in September this year, which created some structure for community policing in Nigeria, community policing in Nigeria have been left entirely to the discretion of Inspector Generals of Police. There was no codification or statutory footing for any community policing structure in Nigeria. So every IGP that comes in has complete autonomy to dispense community policing whichever way he feels, and that's been part of the problem because many of these IGPs have not really, wanted community policing in the real sense. A lot of it is lip service to it. But what the National Assembly has done through this new Police Establishment Act is to create fixed structures while at the same time not tying the hands of the IGP in terms of innovation and other strategies. So Section 113, 114, 115 of the new Police Act, for example, explains the need to create community policing committees from divisional level, community policing committee at the police divisional level, state community police committee at state level, and these structures are now statutory structures that must be created by the IGP from next year. So I think from next year, with will and innovation from the Inspector General of Police, we can begin to have proper community policing in Nigeria, because it's a combination of codification and statutory bodies now, as well as innovation that the IG is allowed to bring in, unlike before when everything was just left to the IG to decide. So going forward, because the community policing, in Nigeria, it's not vigilante, it's not all these things, all this nonsense that have been going on. The truth of the matter is that community policing, is not fixed. Its liability is in the eye of the beholder. It can be applied in different ways by different parts of the country. And that's what I think these committees that the National Assembly has created will allow some bespoke strategies from state to state, from communities to communities in terms of community policing. So I'm hopeful that going forward, we will have better delivery of community policing, because it's no longer just the discretion of the IG.
We have to take a quick break now. Dr. Omole, just give us 1 minute. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, we'll continue the conversation. Thank you very much.
Welcome back. You're watching News Night. Our guest tonight is Dr. Chales Omole. He's the DG, Institute for Police and Security Policy Research. Thank you so much for staying with us on News Night. Now, let's move on to other things. The Catholic Bishop of Sokoto Diocese, in his Christmas message, did make a lot of, he made some points that doesn't seem to have gone down very well with the presidency, where they're saying that he, in effect, called for a coup. And he has come back to say, no, I didn't say that. Now, what are your thoughts about Mr. Kuka's, Bishop Kuka's statement to Nigeria, and how the president or presidency has responded to it?
Well, I mean, the bishop is a Nigerian, and I'm sure he's clearly entitled to hear his views. It was a British politician that once said, I might not like what you say, but I will defend to the death your right to say it. So I don't think it should be shouted down for hearing his views. There'll be those who will agree with it, those who won't agree with it. It is personal view in that sense. So I don't think I can add more to it other than to say that, in a country like Nigeria, there is an expectation of diversity in the way things are done by government. And I think it behoves on government to make sure that confidence is given to all Nigerians when it comes to the distribution of appointments at the federal level.
Government in suspended animation. Quite a number of people, including respected Nobel laureate Wole Soyinka, also in the course of the year, only recently actually said there's nobody in charge, nobody is in control. Would you say that some of the issues that Bishop Kuka raised in that piece were a true reflection of the state of affairs in Nigeria? And what would you say is the way forward going into 2021?
Well, I think you cannot look at that in terms of government as a whole. There will be areas of government that when you look at it, it will appear as though there is some drift. There are areas of government you look at and you will know that actually that is not the case. So it cannot be one answer for that. But talking about going forward, I think one of the challenges, I think, of the government generally, I've said it on many occasions, is they need to improve on their strategic communications. Government needs to communicate better what they are doing and what things are, what the challenges are. A bit more candor and openness to, with Nigerians, I think will probably, make things easier. I mean, for example, we're talking about the community policing, about policing in general. If I spend half an hour with you to explain the challenges and the problems Nigerian police have, you will feel sorry for them. But most of these things are not widely known. The challenges faced by the police are not widely known to Nigerians. So where there's no candor and openness, people will, of course, gravitate towards their own unconscious bias. And that actually is what's happening now. So in terms of government going forward, I would say better communication with Nigerians in terms of what they are doing, what the challenges are, and and try not to overpromise and underdeliver.
Okay.